Wow.
Boogaloo.
Films. Bad films. Lots of films. Very, very bad films. Films. Watch that film. Then talk about it. It's Electric Boogaloo with Matt and Keenan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Electric Boogaloo, the show where we make bad films worse. I'm a handbag containing one can of dog food, Matthew Bradley.
And I am a black cab driver sitting in your lawn for 12 days and getting a lot of money for it, Keenan Groom.
I'm a dog full of canned food.
You nailed that.
I can speak real good. So we watched a film called Run for Your Wife this week, and both of us are so angry that we did.
I think, openly say that is the worst thing I've ever watched.
I wouldn't go that far. Go that far.
Can you name a worse film than that?
Freddy Got Fingered, Food Fight.
Did you laugh at least once during Freddy and Food Fight?
Freddy, yes. Food Fight, no. Maybe a nervous laugh from Food Fight.
Did you laugh at all at this?
I think so.
Okay, then. Food Fight is still the worst film you've seen. There we are.
Food Fight definitely made me angrier than this. But this did make me very angry because of how god-awful it is.
All right, we're just going to have to dive into this thing, aren't we?
I think so. But do you want to tell me about someone else's blind fury first?
Yes. So
I don't know if this is an angry story.
It is an angry one. I thought, angry film, we're angry, angry story. So the title of this film, it's not a film, the title of this story is When They Use Their Grandkids as Ammo. Tags of
in like a gun.
Tags of Florida grandparents jerk movie theater USA. This was posted in July this year.
Oh dear.
I am working at the box office at our theatre when an old woman comes up to buy tickets to a popular kids' movie. Me. Unfortunately, early in the day, the film burnt and we are still fixing it. Sorry, I had to read that again. I was like, I thought the cinema burnt. I was like, why are you there? Unfortunately, early in the day,
this burning ruin.
It's like, sorry, mate, can't watch the film. There's no walls.
Can't watch the film. We're still waiting for the fire engine to arrive.
Yeah.
I'm currently on fire. I'm rolling on the floor trying to put it out.
That's the thing. They still use a lot of proper film reels, don't they, in cinemas? Unfortunately, early in the day, the film burned and we are still fixing it, so we won't be able to play it. She looks very angry and storms off. She comes back a couple of minutes later with a very young girl who it turns out is her granddaughter and says, "Fine, you can tell her she can't see the movie on her birthday. That's what she wanted to do, and I promised her we'd see it." I try to explain to the woman again that there's nothing we can do, and she just points to her granddaughter. So I'm forced to explain to the girl as simply as I can. The movie caught on fire a little bit, and we have to fix it. We can't play Annie. She is immediately crestfallen and starts to sob. The grandmother looks at me and says, "I hope you're happy."
Is that the whole story?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't know what happens next. I want to know what happens.
That's just sad.
I want to know what happens.
I'm left disappointed and upset, and that's a very similar vibe to the film we watched this week. I think that's very appropriate.
I don't know what happens. I want to know. Is there a second part? There's not a second part.
I assume that's just it. The little girl cries, and then the person who their film set on fire is just like, well, got to deal with that for the rest of the day.
I don't know why they have to tell the granddaughter, why can't you go, sorry, they can't play that film today, let's go to another cinema.
Exactly. Just go to another cinema. Don't be awful.
I just said an extra one because that was quite short. This is just a weird one here. Just a story from a movie theatre in Utah. I was tearing tickets at a podium when a man and woman walk up to me and hand me their tickets. Man, how are you doing? Me, I'm well. How are you? Man, thanks. Slightly confused, I tear the tickets and hand them back. That's good. Enjoy.
I love that.
I do that sometimes. It's like, I'm good, thanks. How are you? You're welcome.
It's a thing when you've worked retail for a while that you just go into autopilot, or hospitality as well.
Yeah.
But before where I've been paying for something and I put my card in and put it through, and then when it's approved, I've gone, yep, that's gone through. Do you want a receipt? Wait, no.
Well, it's because you don't think things are going to be reciprocated. So, like, if I go, hi, how's your day been? And they're like, good, thanks. How's yours been? I'm like, what do I say now?
Yeah. So that's a moment of levity and joy that we've just had, which must now come crumbling down as we delve into Run for Your Life, a movie that was made. That's movie about all you can say about it.
That aged about a week and then didn't age well past a week.
A movie that shows what happens when you try and make a farce and don't tell any jokes.
Yes. I bow my head for this film.
So this film stars Danny Dyer as a man called John Smith.
That's one of the 3 things I've written down. John Smith. The most original white English name you can think of is John Smith.
Literally a name they make fun of repeatedly in Doctor Who because of how bland a name it would be.
Well, John Smith is the default name you have for like forms and stuff, examples of how to fill in things.
Yeah, it's like in America it's John Doe, but here it's John Smith.
Yeah.
And he has 2 wives, and the entire movie is he gets hit in the head by Judi Dench playing an old lady.
Yep.
Yeah. Because this movie has an incredible cast that are all
there's so many people in this film.
Yeah. I mean, Danny Dyer, the other Danny Dyer, Judi Dench, Bernard Cribbins, Christopher Biggins, Neil Morrissey, a bunch of other people.
Denise Van Outen was in it. Sarah Harding.
Van Outen, yeah.
Lionel Blair.
Yes, yeah.
Cliff Richard.
Cliff Richard, yeah. Unfortunately, also Rolf Harris.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we didn't know.
No.
Yeah, so he gets hit in the head and goes to hospital and accidentally reveals, like, he gets his address confused and that alerts the police, and it, like, ends up spiraling to this big long farce where he tries to cover up the fact that he's got 2 wives.
Yeah, so
it's just him dealing with his 2.
What did he do? He gave the police one address and the hospital the other one, I think.
Yes.
That's how they... Yeah.
When he checks into the hospital, he gives his address with his second wife, which is Steph?
Yeah, Stephanie, yeah.
Yeah, and then when he gets picked up by the police, he tells them to drive to his first address, which is with his first wife, Michelle. And that's how the farce gets started. It is exacerbated by his useless downstairs neighbor, Gary, which is Neil Morrissey. And like the big spiral of lies that happens to try and keep the whole thing secret, which is classic farce premise, could really work. And I'm assuming the stage version of this, because it's based on a play, is probably quite good.
Yeah, it's very comedy of errors and things like that, where there's...
See How They Run.
Yeah.
Another example. What was that one we saw with AF? The political one.
I can't remember.
I know what it's called, but it's really good.
It's pretty. It's pretty bog standard.
It's a farce, you know.
Yeah.
It's done a lot in Frasier for great effect, that kind of thing. The problem is, it's just not funny, and also it sucks.
Farces are funnier in one room.
Yes, and that's the thing. I'm assuming the way this play works on stage is that Act 1 is set in his first house, and Act 2 is set in his second house.
And that'll be funny.
But this film, you see like Gary's flat, and you see the sports center, and you see the police station, and the hospital, and it's just all over the place, and you don't need as many places as it goes to.
Yeah.
And I guess let's talk about some specifics.
I'll start with 2 positives before we spiral into negativity. My 2 positives is 1 point, and I'm saying the film was bad, but I feel like it would be even worse if Neil Morrissey wasn't in it and Christopher Biggins wasn't in it.
Yes. Biggins is carrying this film for me.
Biggins was just Biggins, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And then
I like a bit of Biggins.
You need that bumbling friend downstairs character for it to be.
Neil Morrissey does that just fine.
He does it well, yeah.
Yeah. So the first note I have is actually about like right at the start of the film, is that I think the theme song for this movie is pretty good.
Yeah, you find that though. You find that they put all their efforts into a song.
Yeah.
Like the Sharknado song.
Yes. Well, except Sharknado 2 is good. Well, it's not, but it's funny.
No, it's not. No, it's not good.
No, but it's funny, which is more than you can say about this movie. Although, I do have written down, right, John Smith, he's finishing his taxi route, and he sees an old lady with a bag. The bag's getting robbed by 2 young men. And the old lady is Judi Dench, and he goes and saves her. That bit where he goes to save her has like maybe my 1 laugh in this film, which is
her line.
You watch your it's her line, which is, you watch your language, you little bastard. Which, I mean, Judi Dench saying that, that's a winner. And then also when Day gets whacked in the head with the handbag, you get your first like cartoony sound effect that this film has. Yeah. Where it's like a boing.
Isn't it the only one as well?
No, there's a lot of like weird cartoony. Like when there's a bit later on where the taxi does like a map drive over London.
Yeah, and they speed up the things, the running and things like that. Yeah, but they should have added more of those sound effects.
Yes, I mean it wouldn't have helped, to be honest, but it would have been more consistent at least.
But them running around in the different rooms and the stairs with like some leg things would be quite funny.
Yeah, like the bongos from Scooby-Doo. So yeah. I don't do a good impression of it, but you know what I mean.
No, I know exactly what you meant. That's what I did, but, you know, equally as bad.
We both did it very badly. So you find out like the backstory on John's 2 wives. And it's like he was married to Michelle first, and then he helped Steph move into her flat.
Well, it was... She
was in his taxi.
Yeah, and she had heavy luggage, and he helped him up.
Yeah, and then she got him a beer, and then they drank a bunch of beer, and then had sex, and then got married, I guess.
After 4 months.
Yeah, so...
Of the other marriage, not after them being together. They got engaged on that night.
Yes. Instead of it being a thing of... like I met them both at the same time and I couldn't decide and my love split, or it being like a polyamory thing, which is totally cool. What it is he cheated on his wife with another woman and then kept doing it. And he's cheating on both of these women, essentially. John, our main character, John Smith, Danny Dyer, is a terrible human being.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
Like, cheating's bad, full stop, but the fact is, a double marriage, it's now a criminal offence.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I don't think being married to 2 people should be a crime necessarily, if it's a healthy, open thing.
Yeah, or religious thing, things like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think polyamory can be a healthy and good thing if it's like communication is involved with it and it's all open.
Yeah, all party consensual, yeah.
Exactly. This is not that. This is a man being an arsehole to 2 women. And so he is cheating on these 2 women with each other, and he's just generally being a douchebag. But because he was a hero to Bag Lady, the London Evening Echo are coming.
Right, sorry. I know, like, robbery is wrong. We know this because,
Yes.
logic. But
yeah.
are you... How far does your heroism go when all you did was save a lady from getting a jar of dog food stolen?
Yeah, and, like, is it really front page news that man stops two robbers? How slow a news day is that?
Yeah, and also...
You can tell this is, like, 2012 when news wasn't everywhere, every day, every second.
Yeah.
Like, this would be a bottom of the barrel feel-good story these days. The front page would be like, Donald Trump claims that coronavirus caused his border wall to fall down or something.
Yeah. Well, wait, which one was this? Where was he when he got hit? Was it Stockwell?
It was neither.
All right, because even
he was
still,
on his
like,
way back
his two houses were in the centre of North London and the centre of South London. There's got to be something else more important happening daily in those places.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know London super well, but I'm assuming is the London Evening Echo a real paper? Or is that a fictional thing?
I don't know. It might be what used to be the Met.
Regardless, we see later on he has to get, like, papers from all over London. So it's like the free tube paper in London.
That's what I don't know what it's called.
It's the front page of, like, the London newspaper. Because
with those, they try and make it quite universal because they know they're going to have tourists and different nationalities reading the paper daily. It's usually quite big international news. It's not like a London standard, just like this little suburb news, is it?
No, it's not a front page story about a man not even catching the two youths.
The positive for that is was she homeless? Because she fed the dog in the alley. The fact that they actually reported about a homeless person getting attacked is quite positive. They usually ignore them,
I guess.
Still not front page.
Her, they reported about him. She's never mentioned again, really. So the reporters show up to try and get the picture with John, and one of them is called Richard, and he says, "You must call me Dick."
This bit was stupidly funny. Like, it was so.
And the other
dumb
one is called Francis,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, can I call you Fanny?"
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps being like, "Fanny, Dick, Fanny," and it's like, "Haha, we get it. Those are genitals." Yeah,
but in the grand scheme of this film, that was the funny part.
Look, I mean, as far as this film goes, sure. And then there's a whole big miscommunication where one of the policemen finds out about the two addresses thing. And so he thinks that maybe John Smith has two houses because he's, like, selling drugs or killing people or
money laundering and stuff like that, yeah.
Money laundering, that kind of thing, yeah.
Which is a fair assumption.
Yes.
In terms of,
I wouldn't put it past him.
Police work and stuff, that's a good, like, let's fear the worst.
Yeah. I mean, the policeman, I'm totally with him. He's doing his job just right. I mean, for now, he is later on, he kind of crosses a few lines. But hey.
Yeah.
So John escapes from he has his picture taken, but manages to escape to go back down to South London to go meet up with Steph.
Yeah.
And there's a whole thing about him, like, lying about being in Luton or something.
No, yeah, because it was he was like, oh, his taxi broke down and then he ended up on a farm.
Yeah, and that's how he is. He lies about having the head injury from hitting his head in the farm.
Yeah.
To the South police. Because there's a policeman from the South as well who gets wrapped up into all of this.
Yeah.
Who was also, like, a well-known actor.
Which one? The older detective?
The older guy, yeah.
Yeah, I recognise him. I don't know who he is, though. It's one of those ones I think it's British and they're in everything. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So he heads down to the South, and this is where we get introduced to maybe the best character in the film, which is the nameless taxi driver.
Yeah. He's fun.
Who he keeps ferrying John everywhere, and John's just like, wait here every time he gets out. And the taxi driver is just making more and more money as the day goes on.
Yeah.
He's like, I can retire off of this. And I'm like, you're a legend. I bet John never paid him.
Thank you. I'm really good at, sorting out media. You carry on while I sort out my life.
Did you text Nessa to tell her to bring her the charger while we were talking?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. Oh, well done.
Thank you. Look at that.
So prepared.
Yeah. I'm so good at this thing.
So he heads to the south and he meets up with his upstairs neighbor, Bobby.
Yeah.
Who is Christopher Biggins as the gayest man who has ever lived.
Like, even as Biggins goes, he made himself camper.
Oh, yeah. He is.
He was told what his character was. He's like, I'm doing what I want with this.
He's camper than a Boy Scout jamboree. I mean, he is so goddamn camp.
Yeah, he is. And it was great. It was wonderful.
Oh, it's wonderful. We said that at the same time. It was weird. He's the redeeming feature of this movie. I loved him so very dearly. He sends John to the sports center to meet up with Steph. The policeman also heads there and they meet up, and that's where the head injury thing becomes a thing. And then when they're at the sports center, I think I noticed in the background, do all the grannies die?
Yeah, or at least pass out because Stephanie's teaching some form of aerobics Zumba type thing with
Zumba,
the first form of Spotify on her laptop.
Yeah, that is early Spotify.
Yeah,
I remember that logo though. I was using Spotify right at the start. I remember that.
And she tells them to carry on while she's talking to the detective, but they take that as gospel, and they don't stop.
And then a bunch of them pass out or maybe die.
A couple of them were getting CPR.
One of them was doing CPR on the other one. That's quite a funny background joke, to be fair.
That scene, like the whole sports center bit, I think was not the best part. The best like story arc involving John Smith.
Sure. The
best parts were everything to do with Christopher Biggins. But
yes, of course.
But yeah.
So everything culminates at his South London flat. So the North policeman finds out about the South address, and he goes down to meet up with John there. Gary is pretending to be John in the North. Yeah. And he comes down to the South as well to warn John that the North policeman's coming down there to find him.
Yes.
John and Gary pretend to be lovers.
Because they think that's an easier way to justify why both Mr. Smiths happen to be in the same household.
Yes. This backfires, however, because the Northern policeman gets a call from North wife Michelle. There's a lot to keep track of in
North
this movie.
wife is Finsbury. So South wife, which is Michelle.
North wife is Michelle. South wife is Steph.
Nah, North London's Finsbury, so that'll be Steph.
I have everything backwards.
Okay, we'll go with your Australian analogy.
So in the upside down. Yeah. Okay, so they're in North London. Then, at the end of the film. Okay, so South London wife is Michelle.
Yeah.
The South London policeman goes to the North, where John and Gary are, and Gary is pretending to be Southern John, and John is pretending to be Northern John.
Yes. The South London policeman is the younger one.
Yeah. South London policeman tells John's Michelle wife that Gary and John are gay.
Yes.
So she drives north to go catch them in the act. Meanwhile, Biggins and his husband, Neil Morrissey. No, not Neil Morrissey. Tony Blair. Lionel Blair.
Tony Blair.
I'm having a meltdown. Lionel Blair and Christopher Biggins. They're trying to dye a dress red. It accidentally breaks their bathtub, and now it's leaking into the floor below. The policeman and Gary and John are like mopping the ceiling. And then Cyril, who is Lionel Blair, not Tony Blair, he gets an electric shock and falls through the ceiling and his arse is just hanging there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Have you gotten really into like smoking meat recently? Would you like to get into smoking meat? You know, when you put meat on a grill and it becomes all like smoky, and you eat the meat and it's like, tastes like smoke. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
How did you get in my house?
Oh, I used the key. I'm your dad. Hi, I'm Papa Groom, and this is my new product, the fish smoker. Have you ever had a cod?
Yes.
Generally?
Yeah, I had some yesterday.
So what would happen if that cod tasted of smoke? But not just any smoke. I'm talking weed smoke, my boy.
Did you break into my house just to sell me drugs?
Yeah, I did. So what I'm here to do is sell you drugs. I've got like a pound of weed and some fish. Look, rent's hard this month. Money's tight. I could really do it if you could take this weed and cod off my hands, son.
How much would it cost?
$5? It's a good deal. It's really bad cod.
FBI, open up! We got you surrounded! We got you surrounded! Drop everything right now.
Wait, Dad?
I'm your dad as well.
Ouroboros of dads. At this point, I was having a good time. I can't lie.
This whole scene was good because...
I mean,
like,
I wasn't wild about the homophobia, but it wasn't too bad.
Christopher Biggins was like trying to dustpan and brush the water up while Lionel's still there watering the dress. He's like, just stop watering the dress.
And then he breaks the shower, and then Lionel Blair uses a Hoover to suck up water, which is a genius move.
I've done that before, but not with a stand-up Hoover. No, a stand-up Hoover.
Even with like a little... Even with a little one, it's a bad move.
That much water, okay? Like
I mean, I didn't think that much water.
I like, nah, not that much. I don't like stick it in a flood and go...
I wouldn't even hoover up a puddle. Use a mop. Use a paper towel. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be hoovering. There's some dust, there's some water. So I'm done.
You're a lunatic. This is how you get your ass stuck through the floor.
What I'm trying to do.
So... Michelle comes up.
Yeah.
Steph has arrived there as well.
On a bike.
All the pieces have gathered together. And how does John lie his way out of this one?
You think?
Why with blatant transphobia, of course. This is where this movie turned from like, oh, this isn't very good, to I despise this movie for me. So he tells Michelle that Steph is a transgender, a trans woman, is what he's trying to say. What he says is that she is a transvestite, which is an out-of-date word, and that she is a man.
Yeah, because if we're taking that word in the grand schemes of what it means, like Rocky Horror, that's very different to what they were trying to do.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the thing is, in Rocky Horror, that film is from, what, the 70s, 80s?
No, but what I'm saying, like, how they're using it as a definition. In Rocky Horror,
100%.
It's like, you're a man, you just put a corset on.
100%. In Rocky Horror, he's basically a drag queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A less...
He's arguably gender fluid.
Yeah.
Maybe like a non-binary kind of thing. But the terminology they use then, transvestite, that's the 70s or 80s, right? That was the term they used at the time.
Yeah.
This movie's from 2012.
Yeah.
We had the word transgender at this point.
You had the word drag queen since Shakespeare.
Yes, but this isn't even a drag queen. This is he's claiming that she is a trans woman, and also that it's a man in a dress. It's just horrible transphobia.
It's like both, in it. Like saying it's...
Yeah. He's essentially saying that this is a man who believes that he is a woman, which is makes me so angry because that's not how it works.
It's
just horrible transphobic bullshit, and no one should stand for it, and no one should watch this film. Do not punish yourself with it. And then Gary claims that he's married to Michelle, to Steph, and claims that Michelle is also trans.
All you have to do,
using the same lazy stereotypes.
The lie that you would get from that is just like, oh, actually, no, she's my wife, to Steph.
Yes.
And then that's a lie, but that's done.
Yeah, you didn't have to bring the goddamn transphobia into it, but they did anyway for a cheap laugh that just made me want to punch a screen. I hated this movie so much. And then, in the end, he confesses to the police, and the police don't believe him, and he gets away with it, and neither of the wives find out, and he just faces no comeuppance. What's the point of a farce if no one faces any comeuppance?
Yeah.
I mean, usually there's a villain to like face comeuppance. Like in See How They Run, the Nazi dies.
Yeah, but like,
I think it's arrested.
It's
but,
like in some weird farce, he'd get arrested, and either the two wives would end up friends or together, or Gary would end up with one of the wives.
Gary would end up with the cake girl, who they also make weird trans comments about.
Did you watch the post-credit scene?
There was a post-credit scene? Oh,
where Gary does end up with the cake woman.
Oh, Christ. No.
There you go.
Also, one thing. Gary takes the cake off Cake Woman, and he sits on it, and it looks like he's shat himself.
I didn't see him put the cake down.
He puts the cake down the settee after the policeman leaves, and he stands up to try and call John, and the policeman walks in, he throws the phone down, jumps, he lands on the cake.
Yeah.
Which is... He makes himself look like he shat himself, and then he sits on a pillow, and the pillow looks like it's covered in shit.
Yeah.
That pillow really feels like it's going to be like a Chekhov's gun kind of plot point thing. Never comes up again.
Yeah, because you like
he kicks it under a chair.
The detective would look under the chair and go, "What's this? Wait, I've seen a chocolate cake."
Yeah. Or like there would be some kind of lazy gay joke about it. I don't know, but it never comes up again. Why do it?
And listen, there's no like. If you're going to do a cheap laugh, you're going to do a cheap laugh of him walking around the city with cake on his bum.
Exactly.
You make some jokes about that. He got on the bus about it. You'd make a joke about that first and foremost.
But they don't. And then what's the thing where like the old woman grabs his arm and is like, "I'm going to walk you to the estate," and then she disappears. I bet Gary just killed her and faces no comeuppance for it because no one in this film does. John's got 2 women pregnant in the end. Is there going to be a sequel? I hope not. Called Run for Your Sons. Runs for Your Sons. Hated this movie.
There was no running.
I have nothing more. Yeah, it was all taxiing.
I get the pun on Run for Your Life.
But have him run for one of them.
But at least run from your wife. Run for... I don't know, man. I don't know.
I hope that Danny Dyer's character crashes his taxi into a river and dies. He is one of my least favorite characters in cinema ever.
Also, apart from Biggins, because he can do no wrong, he's an absolute treasure. Everyone in this film is overrated. I
mean, this film did very, very badly.
But I'm saying, like, the people in it, they got all of us with big names. Yeah. So overrated. Maybe Morrissey, like not Morrissey, the singer, but like he's done some good things. He's also done some really bad programs. So
this film was savaged by critics, obviously. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But also, when I tell you his budget was $900,000,
that's a big budget for. Oh no, 25,000.
£602. Sorry, that was on its opening weekend. But that was its opening weekend was £602.
Right, in 2012, how much were cinema tickets? £8 tops for an adult?
Let's say £8.
So what's that?
602
100 people going, and you'd make more than how much they did.
So 75 people went. There were more than 75 people in the cast.
All the budget went to pay Judi Dench to do something so stupid.
Yeah, she walked away like a winner after that.
That's like the amount of money. It would have cost absolutely nothing to make that film. All the money would have been getting the people in that film.
Yeah. Oh, I
could have made that film on like what, 50 quid? Just need to borrow a car from someone.
I think it's time to calm the fury, release the rage that we feel about this movie, and let's just go into our happy place. And you know where I find my happy place? In the quotes of Danny Dyer. This is philosophy. So the first one I've got for you, and this is the one serious one I have. There are a lot of bitter people out there who've got jobs they hate. The key to life for me is doing something you love doing. I can respect that. That's something I would like to be doing. It's something I like doing.
Look at me, I'm an actor. Everyone says that. Shut up.
Well, I mean, look, it was the best I could do. It's Danny Dyer. You've made it when you've plotted in your gaff, excuse me.
Nah, that's like that.
You've made it when you plotted in your gaff in front of your fire drinking a slush puppy. And I try to live by that. I think you have made it when you're drinking a slush puppy in front of a fire in your gaff. If we didn't have thumbs, we could never enjoy eating a sandwich. Now, usually this is where I would end philosophy with just 3. Because it's Danny Dyer, I've got 4 more. Go and watch Question Time while munching on a toasted crumpet. Sophistication. I've got a bit more sophisticated in my old age. I like jasmine tea now. I hate that early bird. The one that catches the worm. Get back in your nest, you feathery little mug. Right? That was my second favourite one.
Could you do the last one in his accent, please?
No.
Please, go on.
Oh, I'm Danny Dyer. I'm Danny fucking Dyer, mate.
The children.
No one ever asked Santa what he wants for Christmas. Bless him, the fat bearded pisshead. I'm sorry for dropping hard curse words in this episode. It's hard to do Danny Dyer's accent without swearing.
Right. Let's work our way through these and work out whether we ourselves have made it and are sophisticated based on the knowledge of Danny Dyer.
Okay. So
first one.
The key to life is doing something you love doing. For work, maybe not, but we are enjoying ourselves making this bad film.
Yeah, and I enjoy my work as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favourite thing in the world, but it'll do me quite nicely.
Okay, we're doing it right so far.
Yeah. You've made it when you've plotted in your gaff in front of the fire drinking a slush puppy. I don't have a fireplace.
I don't have a fire, but I've consumed many a slush puppy.
Mm.
And have I...
I've drank iced drinks within this house, like drinks made of ice. Not necessarily a slush puppy, but close enough within my current home. In a house with a fire? Because I've done that. Not mine. Not my gaff. I never drank one in front of a fire. That must be said. So I've not made it yet. If we didn't have thumbs, we could never enjoy eating a sandwich. Absolute lie. Who's got 2 thumbs and enjoys a sandwich? Yeah, but you just do this, didn't you? I could eat a sandwich. I could eat a sandwich without thumbs. Could you hold the knife, though? Nah. Karate chop it really hard. Yeah. I'm not. Nah, people can make me the sandwich. I'll eat it with no thumbs. True. Watching Question Time while munching on a toasted crumpet. I've never watched Question Time. No, I don't want to. Actually, I might have watched a little bit of it. I do like a good crumpet, but Question of Sport with a toasted tea cake. Oh, more sophisticated. Question. I don't have another question show. Bollocks. I've got a bit more sophisticated in my old age. I like a bit of jasmine tea. Do you like jasmine tea? I don't like jasmine tea. I like jasmine tea, so that means I'm old. Or sophisticated, you decide. I hate that early bird, the one that catches the worm. Get back in your nest, you feathery little mug. I quite like the early bird. I wake up quite early. Yeah, I mean, I have to now. And I have worms. Oh, God. I didn't know where that was going. And then, to be fair, I have never asked Santa what he wants for Christmas. So
Yeah.
maybe he's onto something. I don't know.
That is a sad life if you're making presents for everyone and then no one makes a present for you.
The present he gets is that he only works one day a year. So, and also he's immortal. I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
He can fly too. He can like shrink
It's
and
like
grow.
Monsters Inc. He consumes the happiness of children.
Santa's basically like an eldritch god, I think, maybe.
Or Mike Wazowski.
He's got some kind of dark magic. Or he's Mike Wazowski in a big red suit. There's also that.
Yep, the two options.
Ending this, our weirdest tangent in a long time. Let's go on to pitching a new film. Good Christ. What
We making an offensive London film?
We
Take that as a no.
fast, maybe?
I don't know. We could try and make a farce, or we can make it easier and make a film out of a play.
Well,
That's just
would
be
making a
anything,
film out of a play be that much easier? I mean, we're overthinking this. Let's just kind of throw some ideas out there. So, the film takes place in
Milan,
Perth.
which is in Milan.
Where's the exact in between of Perth and Milan?
Probably somewhere in Russia or middle of Asia somewhere.
Moscow. The film takes place in Moscow. It's cold.
Okay, this is an ice film. I like it.
Yes.
Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve, yeah.
Yep. Are we just making a film?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's Christmas Eve, and
Oh no,
Morgan Freeman.
We could definitely make a farce about this, about the presents being in the wrong sacks and the elves, and no, we could do it. Right.
Oh, is this a Santa farce? Okay.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I don't know why
Morgan
he lives in
Freeman is
Moscow.
playing Santa.
Ooh.
He lives in Moscow because the real estate's better than the North Pole. And he's put the presents in the wrong sack. Whose sack has he put them in? Why, it's the
Head elf?
Excuse me?
I don't know. I thought I was trying to work out which character we're doing before I get an actor's name. Little Timmy, played by John Travolta.
He's John Travolta at his normal height at his current age. But every time anyone refers to him, they refer to him like he's like 3 foot tall.
Little Timmy.
Even though he's not even shrunk down at all.
8-year-old little Timmy, played by...
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, you're so sweet, little Timmy. Oh, I hope your legs grow back. He's got no legs.
That's what he asked Santa for, was legs.
New legs.
And the farce is to do with his legs.
And the only present that he doesn't leave in Timmy's sack are the legs.
Because...
So Timmy's got this...
Who's got the legs?
Jim from The Office. The guy who plays him, I've forgotten his name. John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Who is playing Satan.
Right. Okay, so Santa's got one last job before he retires, and that's to make Timmy his legs. And then he ends up putting in Satan's sack instead of little Timmy's sack. Okay, yes. Right. I like where this is going. How's this farcical?
Well, do you know what ends up in Santa's sack is a present from Satan's sack, and so Santa has a demon chasing him around.
Who gets that? Santa does, or little Timmy does?
Santa.
What does Timmy get? Nothing.
He gets all the other presents.
Oh, okay. So he gets all of his, but he's like, oh, Santa,
I want legs.
Okay.
The little demon is actually 2 little demons, and it's Steve Buscemi and Taika Waititi.
The best of friends. Buscemi, Waititi. Okay, right. Yeah, and the Pain and Panic from Hercules.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And what's their job? To kill Santa?
Yes.
Or to imprison him?
It's their job to kill little Timmy, but Satan accidentally put it in...
Before the legs get to little Timmy, because little Timmy is the chosen one, and he will bring peace.
Yes, little Timmy, it turns into like a weird Scientology thing towards the end, like Battlefield Earth.
Yes.
And John Travolta's playing the character he wanted to play in Battlefield Earth originally.
Because little Timmy's a new prophet who will bring peace on Earth and destroy Satan. Okay, right. I like where this is going.
And so Santa has made the legs, and they've ended up in Satan's sack. Satan has made the demons, and they've ended up in Santa's sack.
Yeah.
And Santa also has the presents for all the other boys and girls, and they've ended up in Timmy's sack. And Timmy spends most of the movie just playing with trains. And in the end, everything is fixed by Mrs. Claus, who is played by
Natalie Imbruglia.
Sandra Bullock. Wait, the midpoint between Sandra Bullock and Natalie Imbruglia. I know what we're all thinking. That's Bjork.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that.
So Mrs. Claus is played by Bjork. So
Exclusively in this one outfit.
Bjork and Morgan Freeman as Santa and Mrs. Claus.
What a relationship.
Yeah. And she comes along in the end, and she gives the legs to little Timmy, and she takes the presents back, and then the demons have become nice from Santa's help, and they become elves.
Yeah.
And every single other elf is played by one actor.
Okay. Which is... Yeah, it's better than what I could have thought of.
So it's Taika Waititi and Steve Buscemi walk into the workshop, and all the elves just go, wow. And in the resolution of in the post-credit scene of the film, it plays the post-credit scene from Run for Your Wife.
You're going to have to go back and watch that because you won't want that.
I am.
You won't want it in the film.
But
You won't want it in our film.
I have to.
You don't want it in this film. I'd choose a different post-credit scene.
Okay, the post-credit scene is the post-credit scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
Played with zero context.
But it's Ryan Reynolds playing Ferris Bueller, not as Deadpool playing Ferris Bueller, but actually Ryan Reynolds playing Ferris Bueller.
Oh, it's the clip of Matthew Broderick playing Ferris Bueller, but it's dubbed over by Ryan Reynolds.
Perfect. This has got nothing to do with what the film we just watched, but for the best, I think. Because that film was terrible.
Fun, weird post-credit scene. And the name of the film is...
Can it be something to do, like, it's called Santa or Satan, but it's like one of those holographic ones, so which way you walk, it changes because they're the same letters?
The film is called SSS, tricky. And the SSS stands for Santa, Satan, Scientology.
Yeah.
And the tricky is just a fun reference to that snowboarding game.
And like which way you look, it's like Santa or Satan,
or Scientology.
Lenticular. Was it lenticular?
It only says Scientology from like a low angle to
so you
bait
have to
children
look up,
into
you
it.
have to look up to Scientology.
Yeah, it's meant to attract children to join Scientology.
Perfect.
This is our worst idea ever.
And the poster is just some legs.
Yeah, it's some legs.
Does he get actual legs or does he get prosthetic legs?
Both.
One of each.
It's one of each. I hate this so much. Recently we've been making quite good films during these pitch sessions.
Because we've got a theme to jump off the back of.
This has just sent us into hell. Oh, God. Also, there's a 20-minute shot of the film that is just a let's play of the game SSS Tricky. Please, Hazel, redeem this episode. Oh,
I'm a pirate. Okay, she hated that.
I think that's the end of the episode.
I think so. Go on. Do you want to do the outro?
Yeah, go on. Sorry for this.
I was going to do that. You have to apologise.
Okay. I'm apologising to our audience for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed. In spite of ourselves. My God, right, the lighting's gotten really bad and I'm wearing a black shirt. I mean, it's got Doctor Strange in it, but it's still a black shirt. So I've just fully blended into my background. I'm just like melting into it at this point. It's me, the head from Art Attack. So If you've enjoyed this episode, please give out a like, a comment, and a share. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed, and check out our other stuff.
Watch our new reaction video where Matt showed
What has happened to your microphone?
It was on the cap.
There we go.
Go and watch our new reaction video where Matt showed me some internet's stupid videos. I worked out whether I wanted to laugh at them or not.
Yeah.
I did laugh.
We had a
few.
giggle.
I laughed. Some of them are wonderful.
I remember. I was there.
What?
Oh my god. Check us out on Twitter, I guess. I don't know. I've forgotten how to do an outro.
Don't forget, no matter what happens, it's all about the friends you made along the way.
And with that, Keenan, would you like to leave us with the famous outro to Electric Boogaloo?
E is for eggs to do stuff together. L is for lemon pie. Oh no, it's too many letters. I can't be bothered. We'll be here a while if I do all the letters.
Electric Boogaloo is the rest of the name of our show, Electric Boogaloo.
Thank you for listening. Join Scientology.
Christopher Biggins told us to say this.